Good morning, everybody. I'm actually surprised that we might be starting on time, which is rare not only for the region but for Google as well. I would like to welcome all of you here. We are so excited to be here. It's been an unbelievable 2 days, meeting so many people, and we've just fallen in love with the Palestinians. I have 12 Googlers with me here today who you will see almost every single person come present and tell you everything they know. Today is very focused on entrepreneurs. We would like to share with you what we think is one of the solutions to almost every single problem around the world, and that is technology, that is open technology. And we'll have a bit more discussion about that. I have a lot of people to thank who created this event for us, and before I thank them, I'm actually going to invite one of the first people who gave me the biggest challenge, and I hope I had succeeded. Sabri Saidam, who is the President Abbas's IT advisor, is here, and I'd just like him to come up and say a few words to you. Sabri.
صباح الخير للجميع. Good morning, Giselle and team, and our friends from USAID, friends from PETA, PICTI, the Internet Society Palestine chapter, every university, every company. I would like to say that I've been in this room several times, but this is the only time that this room was filled to the maximum, and I'm so proud. And I would like to say a few words in Arabic. تعرف كيف الواحد بسلم على الناس بقول لهم انتم منورين. فعلا اليوم انتم منورين. So I'm very happy. I don't know how Giselle's political future going to be when falling in love with Palestinians. I have some more reason to damn your political future. I have some photos for you with the president. So here you go. Friends, I'm very honored to be here. I can see hope, and indeed I can see a light at the end of the tunnel. Thanks to the efforts of Giselle, her team, and thanks to the effort of PETA and PICTI and all our friends in the ICT community. Google is not making only you happy and myself happy. There's two more people who were happiest. One is Mohammed Jawdat from Egypt, who was denied entry when he applied for his visa, and then Giselle fought hard to get him to Palestine. Second person, and a special person, is Hosni Khuffash, who today, by orders of President Abbas, will be getting his Palestinian passport. فألف مبروك حسني، وينك يا حسني؟ Hosni left Palestine when he was 2 years old. He came back the day before yesterday, right? And then he went to Nablus yesterday to visit his old city. And he was on the phone with his father, as he told us. And he was standing at the shop in Nablus. And he called his father, and his father was crying on the phone. And he was giving him directions to go right and left and look for schools. And then couldn't find the school, which added to the misery of his father, that the school is being removed or something. But anyway, it's an amazing feeling. It's really outstanding to see you all here. Thanks to your efforts. Thanks for making this happen. I'm grateful to all of you, and I wish you all the best today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sabri. One of the organizations that made today happen is PETA. PETA is an IT association for Palestinian IT companies. I haven't seen an organization do as much for their entrepreneurs and startups as this organization. They work at all different levels in trying to figure out government regulation to make sure you have the right open policies and procedures. And I'm so excited. We do have Ala Aladdin with us today. He has been instrumental in making this day. He invited us along with PICTI, and I'll be speaking about PICTI a little bit. Ala, please come up and have a few words.
Thank you, Giselle. Good morning, everyone. First, I'm glad that you pronounced my name correctly, because in London conference, when Giselle introduced Dr. Sabri, she said Sabri Saddam. So everyone like what's going on? So this time you made it right. Well, Laith prepared 10 pages for me to, to give today about the incubation and Big T, but I will make it short and just give a few introduction. But let me start by thanking everyone who were behind the success of this event, starting with, of course, Ms. Giselle, were the champion actually of this event. Her effort and work really made it successful. And hopefully, as we said yesterday, we'll see you more often here, hopefully next time in Gaza and then in Jerusalem in the near future. Also, let me thank all of who organized the event, starting with Laith, Omar, and Ihab. And of course, we won't forget Dr. Sabri Saidam and his lobbying to make this event happen. Our continuous and always thanks for the continuous support of the USAID for supporting this sector and believing in this sector. I won't also forget the UKTI and DFID who were behind the London conference. That was really a successful event. I'll be short, I'm not gonna say it. Dear friends, BETA has championed the establishment of the ICT incubator in Palestine, Big T, in 2004 with the help of the USAID. Because we believe that job creation and poverty alleviation in Palestine is best dealt with by enabling people to create economic value. Value is created by imagination and innovation, which is implemented and translated into goods and services that are sold in a competitive market through the process of entrepreneurship. Sheltering new businesses in a dynamic environment, such as a business incubator, puts us one step closer to ensuring the survival of entrepreneurs which can develop new products and services. The entrepreneur's mission is simply to be able to acquire resources, people, technology, rights, and money for the benefit of the startup enterprise. Technology entrepreneurship is all about future big companies that tend to start up small. Google is the best example. It is about knowing the stages of the startup company in the life cycle as it grows to join the corporate world. It is about creating new products and new markets and to bring technology solutions to compelling market needs. I will skip the whole thing and go to the last paragraph, just for this. At this point of time, it is important to develop a successful working innovation and entrepreneurship ecosystem model that can spur and scale more innovation for commercialization, and I would like to invite Google and other friends such as the USAID to share its best practices and knowledge with us. Thank you all for being with us today.
Thank you very much, Ala. I agree. I think PICT is one of these organizations that is absolutely necessary for any economic environment, any development. There's a very grassroots level of entrepreneurship, angel investment, seed capital that is needed for entrepreneurs to be able to borrow money, set up corporations, and develop the most incredible products and services for their societies, and also for the international environment. I thank Laith so much for everything he has done. He's been absolutely incredible in organizing this. He's worked in conjunction. It's quite interesting. You can see where companies working with government institutions, with IT associations, with incubators. It's actually incredible that we all can work together. I don't know if that has anything to say with the caliber of the people, but I probably think it does. Exceptional people in these organizations. USAID has also been just a champion partner, and I really want to thank them. They do incredible work here. They're working with the EDIT program, and Corona Corporation has just executed flawlessly, along with DAI, who was our original introduction to the West Bank. I'm going to stop with the thank yous because today is for you, and I actually want to get to what is the most important thing. I do have one more organization to thank. The Case Foundation has, along with the UPP, which is the U.S.-Palestinian Partnership, is trying to bring private sector companies along with the governments to come in and help resolve the solution and do it in a way that is positive and it works for the people. And so that's why we are here today. So thank you very much to UPP and to the Case Foundation for supporting this effort today. So now, today is for you. No more thank yous, no more other people. This is not difficult to do. This is not a hard thing to put together. Yes, there are lots of people involved, but I challenge every company around the world to come here and do this because it is so worth it. The impact is incredible, and I hope you'll see the value today. Google does believe that technology is instrumental in changing people's lives. Access to information gives you so much power to make better decisions for you. We actually have a very special guest here today, and I spoke to you about, yeah, exactly. I spoke to you about USAID and how much they have been involved and how helpful they have been to us in planning this day and all of our travels when we've come here to Ramallah. And I have Dave Hart in here, who is the director of the West Bank Gaza support for USAID. His team has been absolutely phenomenal and are also responsible for getting Husni and Mohammed into the country, which we're ever so thankful for. His team, Scott and Gassan and Thomas, have been instrumental in making sure we have the right people here. They have pointed out every single one of you and put you on the list to be invited. They have the Ruwad students that we're incredibly thankful for that are doing the videotaping and have also been doing all of the ushering and helping you out, answering your questions. I would like to have Dave come up and give just a short, brief discussion about whatever it is he'd like to talk about. So Dave, please, can you come up?
Thank you. صباح الخير. أنا داود. أنا نائب المدير في USAID. أنا كمان طالب عربي. كل يوم أنا أدرس في عربي، لكن بس أنا طالب أنا لازم أحكي في إنجليزي متأسف. So I want to tell you two stories. Recently in the New York Times, there was an article about Google. And mind you, I'm a US government employee, so that's why I dress like this. And that's why Google dresses like this, because they're much more hip, more cool, more interesting than the federal government. But anyway, in this New York Times story, the substance of it was what happens when you get 20,000 geniuses working for one company. What does it mean? What does it do? What's the impact? I would not be allowed to work at Google because I don't reach that threshold, but here's what it does. It creates a culture that is innovative, that is creative, that is entrepreneurial, that is connected to the world, that tries to solve and manage great things. And so you've spent the last day and a half talking about all the Google products and what it can do for you. But my question is, what can it do for the world? So one guy, for instance, and this is only one for instance, decided to track flu symptoms to see how often people in America typed in headache, sneezing, coughing, wheezing, flu. And it turns out that Google can identify a flu outbreak, a disease outbreak, faster than anybody else. And so what does that mean? That means suddenly, because Google organizes information and shares it with the world, that people can avoid becoming sick faster, that viruses and disease can be limited. And that is, to me, a very clear example of what innovation, creativity, entrepreneurship can do for the world. Here's what I want you to do. I'm going to tell you a second story. So in June of 2000, I was in South Asia. I've worked in Pakistan, I've worked in India, and in June of 2000, there was a firefight up in the mountains of Kashmir in a small town called Kargil between the Indians and the Pakistanis. And what happened next? Well, immediately, both sides misread the situation and ramped up their militaries to a very, very heightened state. And next, they went on nuclear alert. And suddenly, for instance, because I was going to India a lot at that time, I had seen the Indian waiters, the Indian cab drivers, the Indian shop owners who, for years, had always just been very kind of interesting, nice people who now were saying to me, we're ready for a nuclear war. We want this war. We want to take on Pakistan. We are willing to trade Karachi for Mumbai. We are willing to lose 20 million people in a fight with Pakistan. That will settle it once and for all. So I flew in to evacuate the Americans, to help evacuate all the Americans, not only the official Americans, but all the Americans that are working in the IT sector and in the business sector in India. And that we did. We started loading everybody up on planes because South Asia was on the verge of a nuclear war. And then what happened? Well, it turns out that the business community and the IT sector in particular called up their political leadership. And they said, you are not doing this. You are not doing this to our land. You are not doing this to our subcontinent. You are not doing this in our name. I want you, we want you, the IT sector, to scale this back. We want you to de-escalate the conflict. It's not good for our business. It's not good for our communities. It's not good for our people. And what I learned in June of 2000 is the profound impact of the business community to ratchet back political, dangerous decisions. And that's the same community that we have here today. A community that's innovative, creative, entrepreneurial, who's connected to the world. And I don't want you to do this because I'm up here saying it. I want you to do it because you believe it, because you want to change your world. You want to be the ones that are going to track the next disease outbreak or the next conflict outbreak or the next way of selling your goods, your services to the world cheaper, faster, and better than anybody else. And so it is simply our pleasure as USAID to be a part of this conference and to support you and to support Google in their way, in their means, in their effort to change the world. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Dave. I'd like to respond. One is when I met Dave, he said, Giselle, come to the West Bank and just do what Google does. And that's what we're going to do. That is an incredible support from the US government. Thank you. The second thing is Google has a rule. One of our rules of innovation is you don't need to wear a suit to be sensible. So hopefully we'll change the US government's requirement of wearing a suit.